Hello and welcome to the Vibe of the 315 podcast. I'm Cam.
I'm Emily, and we have a special guest today, Becca.
Becca is our first returning guest. We've had Becca on an episode previously, and Becca is the first guest to be a part of a second episode. So, Becca, welcome back to the Vibe of the 315 podcast.
You're making history.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Love it.
So in this episode, we're going to start with our classic Syracuse basketball recaps and then go into some other segments that we have previously done, some news segments. So let's get right into it. Let's talk about Damon at Syracuse, which happened on October 27th. So Emal, let's talk about the player of the game for this game so far.
All right, so shockingly, the player of the game was actually Quadir Copeland. Bet you guys didn't expect that. But he actually had 12 points, 5 rebounds, 9 assists, 4 steals, 1 block, and he played 32 minutes. So really great game from Quadir.
Definitely. Wow. I remember seeing him at elite games and thinking, wow, he, needs this. He needs the elite games, and now he's actually playing pretty good for Syracuse. So I'm very happy to see that.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, some other key contributors from that game. We have Justin Taylor, who had 12 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, and played 35 minutes. So a pretty good game from JT as well. When I was writing the script, I didn't know who to put as player of the game, Quadir or Justin Taylor, but I figured Quadir did a little bit more, so I had him as the player of the game. Mm-hmm. Kyle Cuff had 11 points, 4 rebounds, 3 steals, and played 22 minutes. And then Benny Williams had 11 points, 6 rebounds, 2 blocks, and 24 minutes. So those guys honestly played pretty good. I was excited to see Cuff, get 11 points. I was excited to see what he could do, and he showed that he could provide for us. So I was very happy to see that.
Yep. Hopefully those two can be good for us off the bench this year. We're going to need players like that. So
definitely
they continue to play that well. All right, some other stats we got. Malik Brown, he had a good game as well with 10 points, 1 rebound, 2 blocks, 1 steal, and he only played 6 minutes. So having 10 points in 6 minutes, that's really good.
Very good.
Yeah. JJ Starling also had 10 points. He had 6 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 block, 2 steals, and he played the full 40 minutes. Cam, you want to continue?
Yeah, so we have Naheem McLeod. He had 8 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 block, and played 15 minutes. Like we said in the past, we don't know how our centers are going to be this year. So seeing McLeod have 8 and 4, I don't know how to feel about that yet.
Yeah.
And this stat, I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw this one. Peter Carey, 4 points, 1 block, 5 fouls in 8 minutes. So he fouled out in 8 minutes. That's just horrible. Awful. And then we have Chris Bell, who had 3 points, was 1 for 7 shooting, 1 rebound, 1 steal in 18 minutes. So Chris Bell did not have a very good game against Damon. So who knows how he's going to be this year. It looks like he's going to start to be inconsistent as always, but just we can never get consistency, it seems.
That's what I was going to say.
Some notes from this game, Emo. Why don't we go over some notes?
So Judah Mintz actually did not play in this game at all. The coaches made that decision. I think he was dealing with a slight leg injury. Yep. So he did not play. We want him to be 100% healthy for the regular season. So that makes sense. And JJ Starling controlled the game very well. His pace was good, the tempo. He seems like a really good guard. He seems good leading the team. So I think he was just great for us to get.
Definitely. One thing I wanted to add is that personally, I really think that JJ should be the main point guard. I like Judah, but I just think with how JJ controls the game, I really think he should be the main point guard and Judah should play off the ball. Mm-hmm. A few other notes from this game. JJ played the entire game as we've stated previously, and then the starters were Starling, Taylor, Bell, Williams, and McLeod. Like we said, Judah did not play this game, so those are the starters against Damon. Mm-hmm. Now, segmenting into the game we actually went to, St. Rose at Syracuse, which was November 1st. So we actually watched this game. We were actually there, so we have a little bit more to say about this game. This is the main reason why Becca came on the podcast, because boy, oh boy, do we have some things to say.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's start off. Player of the game. Like I said, inconsistency is a big thing with this team. Player of the game was Chris Bell. He had 3 points against Damon. He had 19 points against St. Rose, all coming in the first half. Wow. 5 rebounds, which is a career high for him. It has to be. 1 assist, 2 blocks, 3 steals, and he played 30 minutes. So overall, a really good game from CB. If we get that hit from him all year, we're going to be doing really well. Like, that's what I said. Chris Bell could have a breakout year this year. If he continues to do that, that's what I meant. Breakout year for Chris Bell. So 19 points, all coming in the first half. You love to see that.
Yeah. So other key contributors, Judah did play this game, and he ended up getting 20 points. He was 3 for 10 shooting wise, 14 for 16 free throw. So he's good with the free throws, but he had 5 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 steals, and he played 29 minutes. And just look at those stats. I mean, most of Judah's points were from free throws. I think we're going to get into that a little bit more later, but that's just astounding. JJ Starling ended up having 14 points, 1 assist, and he played 32 minutes. And McLeod had 12 points, 6 rebounds, 2 blocks, and played a total of 19 minutes.
I was debating who I wanted to put for player of the game, Judah or Chris Bell, but I thought, Judah really doesn't deserve it. 3 for 10 shooting and 14 for 16 free throws. Like, he got the majority of his points from free throws, so Judah did not deserve it. So that's why we went with Chris Bell for the player of the game. So I don't understand. Judah was so good last year. He would get fouled and make the shot. This year he's getting fouled and not making the shot, and he's relying on free throws, which is just kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Some other stats, we got Justin Taylor with 10 points, 12 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 block, 1 steal in 31 minutes. So he had a double-double, so very good for him. Peter Carey, 5 points, 5 rebounds, 15 minutes. So improvement from the last game from Peter. Quadir Copeland had a bit of an off game. 4 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists in 18 minutes. So that was elite Quadir.
Yeah.
Kyle Cuff, 2 points, 1 for 6 shooting, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals in 19 minutes. And then William Patterson made his Syracuse debut with 2 rebounds, 2 blocks in 6 minutes. Why we don't play Monier Hema? Escapes me.
Yeah, literally. Very frustrating.
Right. Let's get into some notes from the game. And I know Becca has some of her own notes, so we'll go over the notes on our script, and then Becca can chime in and we'll just have a conversation about it.
Yeah.
Benny Williams' suspension and Malik Brown, coach's decision, did not play. So Benny Williams is suspended, you guys. So, he pulled this crap last year being away from the team. This year he broke a rule and got suspended. Who knows when he's going to be back? Who knows what he did? I mean, we have some guesses, but no definite answer. Right. So just crazy. It's an exhibition game and players are already getting suspended.
Not good.
Another note is that Judah did not improve, it seems. And then he would rim run and not make the shot and get fouled. Last year he would have made the shot, like I said previously.
Yeah.
The walk-ons, which are Chaz Owens and Anthony Clayton, played for 1 minute. There are a few other walk-ons, but only Chaz and Ace got in. And then for this game, the starters were Mintz, Starling, Bell, Taylor, and McLeod. So what we were saying, we think that's going to be tentatively the starting lineup. If Benny Williams plays, if not, Taylor will be starting. But if Benny plays, Benny will be starting over Taylor.
That makes sense.
Becca, what notes do you have from this game and about the entire dome? Because as you guys saw in the vlog, it was a very negative experience at the JMA wireless dome. So Becca, let's see your notes.
Definitely watch the vlog for more context behind these notes, but I was just so stunned at what I saw that I had to I had notes on my phone and I was just typing halfway through the game, which if you watch the vlog, you can see that we didn't even stay for the whole game because it was so bad.
Yeah,
terrible.
Exactly.
But, we already hit quite a few of these, but I'll just mention and go over what I had written. First and foremost, I said that players always make podcasts saying they need fans in the dome, but with what they're doing with the graphing stuff is going to deter people from going to the dome. Exactly. So basically, when we were trying to get autographs and pictures with players, they wouldn't let us go down, even though Cam had tickets in a section that was down. Mm-hmm. He had to come back up and let me and Emmy go back down. And then once we got down there, they said we can't stand in those seats. And I asked, well, how do we buy tickets for those seats? Because they don't even show up on Ticketmaster or nothing.
Yeah, any website.
And they said, oh, you can go back up to the box office. So we went up there and I inquired about it. And it didn't make any sense because first she said that the tickets were $50, which
for an exhibition game.
For an exhibition game, that's
exactly for an exhibition game. That's just crazy.
And then she said, because they were talking about like the metal seats, like the bleacher seats, and we had asked,
yeah, exactly.
Like, what about the ones off to the side that are the more normal seats? And
she said the blue chairs.
She said those were all season ticket holder seats,
and they were sold out.
And they were sold out. So if you watch the vlog, you can see how, I mean, I was really obnoxious about it, joking that the game is sold out, where it's like, what would you say, like, what, 2,000-3,000 fans maybe?
Max.
Yeah,
if
max.
That, yeah.
I mean, there was barely anybody in there, so it was no way sold out. I mean, no way. So I just thought it was crazy. And not even to mention that we were the first 3 people even trying to get autographs. So it was just ridiculous. Mm-hmm. Then my next note was about Quadir, which we mentioned. He had a good game the first game. The game we saw, he was terrible.
Mm-hmm.
And I wrote, he has more confidence than skills. He's like one of the most confident players on the team, but he sucks, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, he really like hypes himself up. He hypes the team up, but it doesn't relay on any of his stats.
Yeah. I feel like
he's the support player of the team.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like when he's out there, he wants to score. He wants to do something cool, and it's like that's not your role.
Exactly.
You know, so he just needs to learn his role and just play more cohesive with the team.
Like we said in the episode covering all the guys, that's one thing that we knew going into the season. Quadir does not know his role. That's one thing we already said beginning of the season. Like, Quadir just wants to show off and do everything himself. And that's not his role on this team. He cannot do that. It's not going to make us win games.
Right, exactly. So the next thing that I had written was regarding Judah, and I had 2 things written about him. It seems like when he does pass, it's generally to JJ. I feel like JJ and Judah have the best chemistry on the team together. That's what I observed. That's my own opinion. I didn't really see him pass much other than to JJ. He did a couple times, like to McLeod for an easy dunk and whatnot, but it seemed like those 2 had the best connection. So I'm assuming they probably practiced together most of the time. Mm-hmm. And also, you already mentioned, I'm just going to read what I wrote because this was the mood that I was in. I said, Judah's going to end up breaking his shoulder blades for landing on his back so much from rim running and exaggerating the fouls.
Yeah.
So that's all he does. He dribbles the ball, dribble, runs up, misses it. Oh my God, falls to the ground so dramatically. Yeah. He's going to end up actually getting hurt from that, in my opinion.
And he hits the ground so hard.
You can hear it. You can hear it in the dome. That's why I mean, like, you know, when I wrote that, obviously I was really in a bad mood with the graphing incident and all that. But I'm serious when I say that is not how you win games when your best player is a ball hog trying to get, to the free throw line. That's not how you win games. That's a good weapon to use in a close game.
Exactly. That's what I was just gonna say.
But you can't do that. That can't be your play that you rely on to win.
Like,
that's not gonna work.
When 14 of your 20 points are, from fouls, you want to go to the NBA. You can't really make plays without getting fouling, and you don't have a 3-point shot. I mean, last year he'd make a lot of 2-point jumpers or cool dunks and stuff. It's like we're not even seeing good gameplay from him. It's just him on the ground all the time.
He made 3 out of 10 shots. Like, that's why he was not player of the game. If he did maybe 5 for 10, he would have been player of the game. But 3 for 10 is just ridiculous.
And another thing. Go ahead.
Sorry.
Okay. Well, I was going to say another thing about Judah that I didn't even type a note of, but I thought about after was, if you look about their defense, which one of my notes was defense is sloppy, players are not following their man, they're following the ball. Mm-hmm. And Judah is constantly trying to swipe the ball.
Yeah.
And I know he got what did you say? Like 3 steals or whatever. But
Yeah. Let me look. Judah Mintz, 3 steals. Yep, you're right.
Yeah. So, but that's what I mean. Like, he's trying to swipe the ball away. He's not focusing on, the man that he's guarding. He's looking at the ball the whole
That's another situational thing. Like, if the player is sloppy, that's something you do in a situation. You don't look for a steal every time down the floor.
Right. And that's what I noticed. He was constantly trying to swipe it. So I don't know. I don't know if it was because the guy he was guarding wasn't good. Like, I don't know, because it was only one game that I seen. But I'm just literally saying what I observed, what my thoughts were, and the defense.
These are just our opinions, like we always say, guys. It's just our opinion. It's what we observed. Obviously, we have no, expertise. We're not from ESPN. We're just 5 with a 315. Like, it's just our own opinion and what we saw and what we're observing, and we're just speaking the truth to our peers.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I thought the defense did not look too good, and I think it's mixing the new guys with the old guys who did the zone defense, and then you got people trying to learn the man-to-man defense. I think it's confusing them. Yeah. And we'll see what happens in like a real game.
Exactly.
When it's not St. Rose or Damon.
Right.
Right. And I just really was disappointed. I thought it would be a lot better, and I didn't think it was.
Yeah.
And then the last note that I had, I kind of went out of order, but the last note that I had was, and I'll just read it.
Yep.
This was my thoughts literally at the time. You can tell Kyle Cuff is Kansas's scraps. How did he even get offered there? So the first game, obviously, that they played, it looked like he did pretty well. The game we particularly saw, he was crap. Like, I honestly, I believe
20 minutes.
I believe any one of us could have played better than him. I feel like any of us could have gotten a 2-point shot. So I don't know how he ever was offered to Kansas. That was my genuine question, because he did not look good.
Yeah, well, when Kansas won it all in 2021, he did nothing. He didn't even play. He was a redshirt that year. So, like you said, he's Kansas's scraps. Like, he didn't even play when they won it all. He had no contribution whatsoever.
And I know that the reason he came to Syracuse was because Syracuse is supposed to be a good basketball school. And he probably thought he could be a starter. He could be like 6-man. But from what we've seen, like he's going to have to improve a lot to get that title.
Yeah, definitely. And in NBA terms, this is the best comparison. In NBA terms, Syracuse is going through a rebuild right now. That's what I would call everything, getting rid of Coach Boeheim, hiring Coach Red, getting a bunch of different guys. Like, we're just in the middle of a rebuild trying to make our program stronger. So Kyle Cuff thinks he can be a part of that. I hope he could be, 6th or 7th or 8th man off the bench and provide a little bit for us, but he's not going to be, a star for us, at least in my opinion. And one thing I just wanted to go back on is you said JJ and Judah have a lot of good team chemistry. Well, let me riddle me this one, you guys. Riddle me this one. The reason that JJ came here was obviously Coach Red, but JJ came to Syracuse because Judah was here, and vice versa. So if Judah left, JJ wouldn't have came here, I don't think. Or
I don't believe so, yeah.
Like, if JJ didn't come here, Judah would have left. That's my personal opinion, because they're really close. So I think because Judah decided to come back, and because JJ decided to come here, they were like, okay, like, let's both come back to Syracuse. So that's just my personal opinion, because they're really, really close. So that's why they have big team chemistry and the best team chemistry on the team, because they're real friends in real life.
And I agree with what you said earlier, Cam, that I believe JJ should be point guard over Judah. And the reason he probably isn't is literally because Judah was there last year and JJ wasn't. But I feel like JJ has more basketball knowledge. I feel like he's a smarter PG than Judah. That's just my own opinion, but I feel like JJ would actually be better, and I feel like that is something Coach Red should explore with this team this year.
I agree. One thing I just thought of, it literally just popped in my mind, but I don't know if you guys remember this, but a few years ago, I don't remember who we were playing, but we were getting full court pressed, and I don't even remember who was on the team, but I think it was Buddy and Joe Girard, and they just kept like chucking it across the court to one another when we were getting full court pressed. Like if that happens, have both of them come down and both of them can bring up the ball and like pass it back and forth to each other. Like that would be good because technically we have 2 point guards that could actually handle the ball. Like we're not saying Judah can't handle the ball. We just think that JJ's in-game knowledge is better. So we think he's a better decision maker. So in certain scenarios, it could be good for Judah to handle the ball, but we just think JJ is a better overall point guard.
Yeah, from what we've seen this year.
Definitely. And like that, things can change. We could be proven wrong. And on tomorrow, they play tomorrow because we're recording this Sunday. We could be, oh my gosh, Judah is such a good point guard. Like our opinion can change. Or we could say the same. Like we never know what's going to happen. We're just saying our own opinions.
And I feel like it's so hard to tell because I thought the same thing about the football team. Starting 4-0. It's so hard to tell early on in the season because literally anything can change. Injuries always screw Syracuse.
Yeah.
It's I don't know how this year is gonna go. I know when we came in with all these trades, all the stuff that they did, all the changes with the coaching, I thought it was gonna be, oh my God, we're gonna win the tournament. We're gonna be in the Final Four. After seeing how they play against teams I've never heard of. Winning 20 points against a team I've never heard of. I thought they're going to win by like 45 points, 50 points. It was just hard to watch. Like I said, it was hard to watch.
This could be another thing too. Maybe when we play like better teams, like Red was shifting our guys like all the time. Like me personally, I think Judah and JJ are going to play the whole game all the time. So maybe that's going to be a factor. Like maybe we'll win by more tomorrow if Judah and JJ play the whole game because we kept shuffling guys. I think Coach Red just wanted to see, who could do what. And I'm sorry, but we're not going to lose to Damon or St. Rose. Like they're exhibition games for a reason. That's why we have exhibition games to test stuff out. So maybe that's what Coach Red was doing and just trying to see what people can do. And when it's coming to actual game time, the starters will play majority of the time.
That's what I want to see. I want to see like a conference, like an ACC game.
Yeah. And that's why we always say, you can't tell really with an exhibition game. And, at Orange Tip-Off, someone was coming at me in the comments saying the team looked very similar to how they played last year. The players like Chris Bell, Benny, Judah looked very similar to me.
Yeah, exactly.
People get all mad. I don't know what game you were watching, but
on to you.
We can't really tell until they play, UNC or, NC State.
I think it will be a good test for us,
where they really have to put all their skills to use and, play 100%. So we'll have to see what the season brings.
Like that, it's kind of similar to the football. So the football team schedules easy games in the beginning, and we think, oh my gosh, you're going to be so good. They crush Colgate. They crush whoever else. I don't even remember, Western Michigan, I think it was. Yeah. It's the same type of thing. Like they schedule easy games early in the season, and then ACC play gets harder for them. So I think that's what's going to happen with us. It's going to be easier for us in the beginning, and then once ACC comes, it's going to be an actual test. It's going to be close games, and it's going to be toss-ups. That's how it's going to be, at least in my opinion.
Yep, definitely.
And like that, I know we're going to wrap up this discussion, but another thing is Naheem McLeod, everyone thinking so great. You guys, he's 7'3", or 7'4", 7'4", excuse me. That's him dunking the ball. It takes no effort. That's him dunking the ball. So everyone that's going crazy, when the dome's going wild for him getting the dunk, it's like, then that's me throwing something.
You can literally reach your arms up and dunk it. Like I doubt he even has to jump to touch the rim, like literally.
It's not even that. He was significantly taller, especially in wingspan, to any other player on that team. He was the biggest on the court by far. And the fact that I hope he's a good player. I hope all of them are. Obviously, a Syracuse fan, but I'm just saying you can't really tell because there was nobody to guard him. You can't tell when you're taller than any other player on the court on either team. Yeah, obviously you can get easy dunks. So
right. My question is though, like, how is he going to fare against someone like Armando Bacot, who's 6'11" and 250 pounds and built like muscle. Like that dude is so strong. Like I feel like McLeod's just gonna get crapped on when that happens. Like he's so skinny for his size too. Like
exactly.
I just feel like he's gonna struggle when it comes to not even that tall, 6'11" but strong. Like I feel like he's gonna struggle with that. And the twigs, like for example, I just think of the Diaz-Graham brothers on Pitt. Like I think he'll be fine against them, but Becca on UNC, he's gonna struggle with because he's so muscular and so strong.
That's always a Syracuse problem is these really, really scrawny guys. Like we've had this issue for so many years.
Yeah.
Joel Ajay, Jesse
Edwards.
It's even Shuku, whom we love, was extremely skinny, and that is the thing. We need these guys with muscle.
Yeah,
like that's why I really like Zach Edey on Purdue because he is actually built. He's not just tall; he's actually got muscle mass.
Exactly, that's what we need. That's what we need. Like that Jesse Edwards, when he came here, he came in as a freshman at like 190 pounds. Like we got him up to 230 when it was a senior year, but still 230 is not anything. Like if you're
that tall now.
Exactly.
And that's what we're wondering about McLeod. Other than his height, what does he have?
Exactly. Right. That's the only thing that he has is his height.
We'll have to see when he's not being guarded by tallest 6'10" player,
Exactly. All right, you guys. Moving on from Syracuse basketball, we've had our little TED Talk about that. Some baseball notes. Emal, you can have the honor to tell the peers about this baseball note.
So you guys, the Texas Rangers won the 2023 World Series. So congrats to former Syracuse Chiefs manager Tony Beasley on getting a ring. That's just so awesome that Tony gets a ring. Diamondbacks, Rangers, neither are a team I really follow that much, but I knew that Tony Beasley was the manager on, a coach on the Rangers. So just for that reason, we were rooting for the Rangers. So that's just so awesome. He won. He was always so great. So shout out Tony.
This is impromptu. Let me get if you want to cut this cam, I'm gonna get my Tony Beasley signed hat.
I'll just leave this in because I can cut it on the cap cut because what's stupid is that it records it even if I stop the recording.
Right. We'll just have to
This isn't like a show and tell. This is just literally impromptu. This is a game worn signed Tony Beasley Chiefs hat. So congratulations to him.
We love you.
Love to see that.
Yeah, literally. And one thing I thought was so cool is he's the third base coach for them. And every time a player would hit a home run, like I'd be like, oh my God, there's Tony Beasley. Like there's Tony Beasley. Like he was on the TV so much. It was just awesome.
It's amazing.
All right, one more baseball note, then we're going to go into some segments like guess the player and whatnot. The New York Mets have released Nick Meyer. Hallelujah. Prayers have been answered. Nick Meyer has been released. I was tired of hearing a stupid walk-up song, and he thinks he's so cool, but you're a loser, Nick Meyer. So moon to you. Okay?
Moon to you.
So thankfully, Nick Meyer has been released. All right, you guys. Next, we're going to be doing a classic segment that we usually do, Guess the Player. So all three of us have one player for NBA, NFL, and MLB, and then the peers are going to guess to see who it is. So first, Becca, you're the special guest, so your NBA player is first.
All right. So my first clue is the player went to Gonzaga. He was born in Japan and has played for the Japanese national basketball team. He's played for the Wizards and the Lakers in the NBA, and he was acquired by the Lakers at the trade deadline in 2023. And fun fact, he and I share the same birthday.
All right, Emo, what we're going to do to make this easy, I'll count down 1, 2, 3, and we'll both say the player at the same time. Like whoever's guessing will do that, okay?
Yeah.
All right, ready? 1, 2, 3, Rui Hachimura. Yep. Becca,
that's awesome. I love him. Such a flex.
That's why his number's 2828. That's my birthday.
That's cool. I did not know that.
Not many cool people have that birthday, so.
Literally. All right, Rui, great start. Next, Miss Mingle, it is your turn.
All right. So this NBA player has 2 rings currently. The player is currently on the Clippers, but he's previously played for the Raptors and Spurs, but he was initially drafted by the Pacers. This player has a very funny and unique laugh. He went to San Diego State for college, and this player is actually cousins with former NFL player Stevie Johnson.
All right, Becca, you ready?
Got it.
1, 2, 3. Kawhi Leonard.
Yep. That's right, you guys.
Let's go. I actually did not know that he was cousins with a former NFL player. So
I didn't know that either. I honestly got it from the funny laugh.
Yeah, me too. Miss Mingle, thank you for the knowledge.
Yeah, I found that out while researching, and I thought that was an interesting clue.
All right, Piers, it is Kimmerson's turn. This player was drafted by the Memphis Grizzlies with the 5th overall pick in the 2008 draft, but never played a game for the team. He played for UCLA for college and was teammates with Russell Westbrook. He has played for the Minnesota Timberwolves, Cleveland Cavaliers, and Miami Heat. He was a key contributor to the Cleveland Cavaliers' success during their playoff runs, and he has won 2 gold medals with Team USA.
Emal, do you know it?
Yeah.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Kevin Love.
Kevin Love.
Very good. It is Kevin Love.
Yay. That's a good one.
I actually did not know that he was drafted by the Grizzlies. Like Emal, I learned that. I learned that when I was researching.
Yeah.
So, thank you for the knowledge on this day, Kevin Love. All right, my NFL player. This player attended Michigan State University. He is a quarterback. He has played for the Washington Redskins at the time. And no, I'm not being racist because he was on the Redskins. Like, they weren't the football team or the Commanders when he played for them. And the Minnesota Vikings. He just suffered a season-ending injury, and he went viral last season for wearing his teammates' chains on team flights.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Kirk Cousins.
Very good, you guys. It is Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, he was my starting quarterback on fantasy, and I had to drop him. Very sad. Very sad.
All right. So this player is good pals with the rapper Kodak Black, and they actually went to elementary school together. This is a current player on the Ravens, and I also have him on my fantasy team. This player attended the University. I always say that
University.
It's so bad, you guys. He attended the University of Louisville. He won the Heisman Trophy in college, and this player is the youngest quarterback to start in a Pro Bowl game.
All right, you ready, Becca?
Got it.
3, 2, 1. Lamar Jackson.
Yes, very good.
I actually did not know that he is a pal of Kodak's. That's really cool. So,
yes, another one I found while
learning knowledge, you guys.
Thank you for the knowledge spoken.
Yeah, literally. Thank you for the knowledge spoken. All right, Becca, you're an NFL player.
Okay, my player went to Utah State. He was a 2nd-round pick for the Seahawks in 2012. He is a current linebacker for the Seahawks. He's only played 1 season not in Seattle. And this player has the most tackles in Seahawks franchise history.
Miss Mingle, do you know it?
Yeah.
All right, ready? 3, 2, 1. Bobby Wagner.
B-Wags, that's right.
Let's go. All right. Becca, your MLB player.
All right. So this player is currently an outfielder. He's on the Dodgers. He's won 2 World Series, one with the Red Sox and one with the Dodgers. He was AL MVP in 2018. And this player is referred to by his nickname.
All right, you ready, Miss Mingle?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Mookie Betts.
Very
good.
Him.
His actual name is Marcus Lynn. So.
Oh, I did not know that either.
Thank you for the knowledge.
On this name, good. All right, Miss Mingle, it is your turn.
Oh my. All right, I might laugh a little while doing this one. This player is currently on the Atlanta Braves. This player shares the same first name as my father. This is a very talented outfielder. This player has a younger brother in the Mets system currently, and this player has a record for the most stolen bases in the 2023 season.
All right, Becca, you ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1. Ronald Acuna Jr.
That is correct.
Very good. All right. My player is quite goofy, so I hope you guys can get it.
All right.
This player is an outfielder, but used to play third base. He played for the Tigers, Cubs, Reds, and Phillies. He has a son named Liam. This player tends to hit home runs at bad times. And in the NLDS this year, this player hit 2 home runs in Game 3 and 4, becoming the first player in MLB history to hit multiple home runs in consecutive postseason games.
I honestly don't know it.
I think I know it, but I don't want to. I might be thinking of another person. Is it Nick Castellanos?
Yes, it is, Emo. Very good job.
That's what I thought, but I wasn't positive.
Yeah, I had my player as originally Luis Severino, then I'm like, I'm going to change it. So I did Nick Castellanos because he has a son named Liam. You guys know the Liam memes.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
So,
well, very good.
That was Guess the Player. Hope you guys enjoyed this segment because personally, at least for me, it's one of my favorite segments to do. I don't know what the peers on the Skype think, but for me, it's one of my personal favorites.
Yeah, it's definitely a fun one, I think. And you guys can guess at home as well.
Yippee!
All right, guys. So this is a returning segment we've done. This is the NBA Purdle, so this should be fun. Let's see if the Yos can solve it.
All right, so we get 8 guesses. Becca, since you're the guest, who would you like to guess for the first player?
Any NBA player.
Yep, current.
Any NBA player?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to do somebody like too obvious. Like I want to think.
No, anything's good because it gives us clues like what conference they're in, their height, their age. So any players.
Do I say who it is, or do I just think of it?
You just say guess, and then I enter in the computer.
Just tell us the player.
Okay. Russell Westbrook.
Westbrook.
All
okay,
right.
so he's in the Western Conference. So, all right, not in the Pacific Division. Taller than 6'3", so it's a forward. It's either forward or center. Younger than 34, so he's probably young.
Mm-hmm.
I have a guess. I'm gonna guess Chet Holmgren. Oh, darn. All right, so he's older than 21, not in the OKC conference. Shorter, so it's a forward. So Clipper, so it's not the Pacific Division, so it's not Clippers, Kings, Warriors, Suns, Lakers. OKC's division is OKC, Denver, Utah. Who's that? Emo, we had the same issue the other time. We can't remember the divisions.
The Blazers, right?
Yeah. So it's the third division in the West. All right, you guys, you know what? It's not cheating because I don't know the division, so I'm gonna look at who could be the choices because I'm blanking right now. All right. So the division we're looking at would be the Southwest Division. So Pelicans, Grizzlies, Rockets, Spurs, and Dallas. So the player's jersey number is lower than 7, so either 6 or 5. So
what number is Jaren Jackson Jr.?
He's number 13, and I don't think he would work because I believe at least he's 6'10" or 6'11".
He's definitely older than 21. So.
Yeah, he's older than 21 too. I think it's a forward. Like I think it's like Dylan Brooks comes to mind, but he's not number 4 or number 5 or 6. I'm gonna try. Emo will like this guess. Kenneth Lofton. Let's try him. Oh, okay. That was actually a pretty good guess. So he's either 6'7" or 6'8". Not on Memphis. So he's either a Pelican, a Rocket, a Spur, or a Maverick.
I don't know much about any team, to be honest.
I'm going to try Blake Wesley. That was a horrible guess. Camera-son, you're stupid, but it rules out the Spurs. So it's either a Pelican, a Rocket, or a Mav.
Yeah.
Could be. Wait. Hold up. Ring, ding, 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 ding.
How tall is Jalen Green?
I was just going to say that, Emo. I was just going to say Jalen Green, but he's number 5. Wait. No, wait. He's number 4. Jalen Green's number 4. So I don't think it. I think the player's number is 5 because it was yellow on 7. So I think he's number 5. I think he's taller too. Jalen Green's 6'4". So it's probably 6'7" or 6'8" would be this player. I'm trying to think who is on Dallas. That's good. Well, not good, but who's on Dallas? It's a forward. Could try.
What's Reggie Bullock?
I'll do that for the team, literally. Oh, he's on Houston now. I didn't even know that. So it's not a Rocket. So it's either a Maverick or a Pelican. So that helped us anyways. It's either a Maverick or a Pelican. Wait, oh my gosh. Herbert Jones.
Good job.
Jones memes. Emo, do you remember Herb Jones memes on 2K?
Yes.
Oh my gosh,
that's good. I'm surprised you solved it, you guys.
That seems pretty good. Good job.
Wow.
I'll explain the memes really quick. So in 2K, I think it was 22, I was playing my team with MW. You guys know MW. And Herb Jones had a card in MW, and I'm like, who is Herb Jones? Like, I've never heard of him. And he had like a 94 overall card, and we're like, who is this dude? Like, we've never heard of him. So ever since then, like on 2K22, Herb Jones was just a meme the whole rest of the year. And then we kind of forgot about him, but Herb Jones came to visit us on Pirtle today. Wow. That's just, what a coincidence that we record today and Herb Jones is.
That's interesting.
Oh, thank you, 2K, for the knowledge to help us solve that.
Literally. What a pull by Camera-son.
So for my special segment, I didn't really want to title it anything. You guys can come up with something if you want to in the comments or whatever. But I have kind of a show and tell item with like a story. So my item is this signed Mark Tien card.
Oh my god.
That was actually the first baseball card that I ever got signed. It was at the Chiefs Stadium back when it was the Chiefs. I don't even remember what year it was, but it was the first baseball card that ever got signed. I bet probably Cam gave me the card because back then I had cards, but I didn't really buy new cards. But he was like my favorite player. I assume Cam gave me the card, but that was the first card that I got signed, and I do remember it. So
wow.
After that, I liked him as a player at the time. And that was kind of like what started the hobby for me of graphing, was like getting that card signed, and I kind of fell in love with it since then.
Very good. Yeah, one thing that's funny about Mark Tien is I remember going down to Pat's one year when he was on the team, and I found probably like literally 30 Mark Tien cards. And Mark Tien wasn't too happy with me after seeing my abundance of cards that I had for him.
Yep.
So, very good item, Becca. And love Mark Tien. At least one of my favorite Chiefs of all time. I think he's definitely top 25 because there's just so many Chiefs that I've loved throughout the years.
Yeah, literally. I actually remember him. So.
Yep, definitely. Great item. Me too. Alrighty, my chump of the week this week, you guys. This should be no surprise. He's a returning chump. It's Benny Williams. Benny Williams is the chump of the week for whatever shenanigans he pulled and getting suspended. Now, we don't know if he did a substance, if he drank alcohol, if he got into an altercation, if he skipped practice, if he has bad grades. Those are just some of our theories, speculations, if you will. But Benny Williams is this week's chump because the season hasn't even started and he is already suspended. So as Greta Thunberg would say, how dare you?
Unbelievable.
Literally, quite unbelievable behavior.
But like people were saying on Twitter, it's good that Coach Red isn't letting stuff slide.
Exactly.
And he's being, tough with the guys because they need to take this seriously.
Yes, they do.
Continue.
Peers agree. All right, my take of the week is that Syracuse will not be as good as we originally thought. They could still be good, but they did not look too good versus St. Rose. And I hope I'm wrong with this take, honestly, because I want them to be good because I'm a Syracuse fan. But honestly, I think I overhyped them in the intro video, like Get to Know Syracuse Basketball this year. I think I overhyped them a little bit. So I hope I'm wrong, but that's just my personal opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Miss Mingo?
I agree.
Yeah.
Showtime!
I know you guys have seen this before, but this is my signed Tony Beasley card. So I had this all the way back. You guys know I don't collect. Well, I didn't really collect a ton of cards, but I had it from the team set on here. Let's see the year, the 2012 team set. So it's manager Tony Beasley, looking great. But this was unsigned for years. And then when we started doing TTMs in like 2020, I thought, I bet Tony would sign this if I got it to the stadium. So I sent it to the Rangers and I wrote Tony a letter because he's just a great guy. Not only is it cool, he's a former chief, and a really good guy, but, he has a really interesting story. I recommend you guys to do some research of your own, but, he's survived cancer and he's a man of faith. He just has a really good story. Just someone really to look up to, and he signed it. He's got a really nice signature. So this is just one of the best TTMs I've got. And as we've said before, we love Tony Beasley. So I had to show you guys that card because now he's got a ring.
Congrats to him.
Miss Mingo. Congrats to Tony. And you guys, that is going to conclude this episode. So as always, we hope you enjoyed. Shout out to Becca for being on the podcast again. It'll probably be a third episode somewhere in the future. At least I hope, if Becca is willing to be on the podcast.
Oh, of course.
But other than that, that's pretty much it for this episode. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Yeah, thank you for your time, Becca. As always, like, comment, subscribe. You guys know the usual blogna we say around these parts. As always, salute to your peers. Very good.